I remember taking music from there illegally, go to college, get a real job, and I pray that those videos never find the light of day. I don't know, $50 from a shoot that I did. That $50 just it felt like $5,000. All right, welcome back, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in again, as you always do. I appreciate the love. You guys been showing me a lot of love. I've been getting a lot of comments and just, building up a community on here. And it's happening a lot faster than what I thought, to be honest. So I wanted to take a step back and kind of explain exactly, because I feel like I kind of jumped into this without explaining exactly what I do and why I do it. So I am a videographer. I've been a videographer for close to about maybe 6-7 years, where I've been actually recording. And I've always had a camera in my hand since I was like a teenager. And what made me become a videographer was, I grew up watching, first of all, a lot of movies, as we all do. And I'm always surprised when people say they don't see the latest movie or this or that. I'm a big film guy, and I remember watching like MTV videos. I remember going to school and, a new song or whatever would come out, and I would be asking people, "Oh man, did you see the video?" And they would look at me like I was weird, like who watches music videos? And it's just funny to see that today, like it's almost impossible not to drop music with a video or visuals attached to it. I feel like when we're young and there's not too many opportunities in front of us, we don't, well, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm also speaking for the general public of kind of where I came from too, which is not the best area. And we didn't understand that, this was a job. Making videos was a job. Stage building. You could be the audio guy. You can be the second cameraman, DPs and stuff like that. And that's the stuff that they didn't teach us when we were young. So I would always just watch this stuff and just be like, well, I don't know how to do it. I'll probably never do it, but I'm always enticed. But I remember I had a friend back in the day. His name was Travis. And I remember he had the crappiest camera. It was so crappy. I think it was like an old, super old Nikon. And I remember I'm shooting videos on it. And then once I see, like, he was showing me the stuff that he loaded up to YouTube. And come to think about it, Travis is, I'm pretty sure he's not on YouTube anymore. But if he would have kept up since then, he would probably be up there with like Mr. Beast or something. Because he was always doing like pranks and fun stuff with his friends and stuff. So I remember hanging out with him one day, and we were at his house, and he was showing me the video that he loaded up on YouTube, and it was terrible. I'm talking about, out of 10, it was probably a -5. It was so bad. But for what the time was, and this was probably like around maybe 06, 07, maybe around that time, 2006, 2007. And I'm telling you, it was so bad. But us being young and him creating something just with his own mind, his own camera gear, I just seen how much passion and fun he was having. And then when he loaded it up and he could watch his own work, it was just another level. So I remember seeing that and just watching it like, yeah, at that age, at that time, the video was so bad. But I remember just watching it like, holy crap, like he created this. He put this on the internet. So I remember going out, saving up my money. I was probably around like, maybe I was probably like a junior, maybe like a junior in high school around that time. Saving up my little money. I think I got together maybe about 150, $175 and bought me a starter camera. And it was crappy. I remember it was the Nikon D3200, and it was garbage. It was garbage. It was trash. But I remember when I got it, I thought I was just gonna change the world. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this, I'm gonna shoot that. And I remember when I was so intimidated at first. At first I wasn't. I had the gear in my hands. I was like, man, I'm getting ready to. And then once I started getting out in the world with it, and I was shooting the dumbest things. I was shooting like people walking around outside. I would shoot some of my friends. I would shoot trees, and I would shoot everything. So anyways, I remember getting my my D3200, and once again it was so crappy, but I remember shooting everything. And this is before I even knew how to load up stuff on YouTube or anything. And I remember like getting my first video together and having my little software. I can't remember the software that I had that I was like cutting, but this is around like Morpheus and Bear Share time. So I remember taking music from there illegally, and putting it behind what I shot, which was both bad. So it would be like my favorite song at the time, but it would be in the background of like some stupid trees or some really shaky type of, friends skateboarding or stuff like that. And I pray that those videos never find the light of day. After that, I kind of actually, you graduate high school, and you get told the whole go to college, get a real job, and I did all that. And then I kind of can't, my camera was just collecting dust. It was just collecting dust for so long. And I remember it was so old that even when I went to go back to it, and throughout this time, I was still like somewhat fascinated with music videos, but you get into the job world and you're working and you're getting money, and that just kind of takes over. So I remember even going back to my old camera when I did find that inspiration again, like, let me try to shoot something. And the thing literally was so old that like I can't remember what time it was, but around the time that I picked it back up, it felt like I was holding a fossil. So I'm like, oh no, I can't shoot nothing with this. I'm watching the updated videos now and what people are shooting with now on YouTube. And I'm not saying that you got to have the best gear, because I am the guy. I don't praise gear. I it's all about being creative. But it doesn't help when you have the least of the gear. You want to have something that's somewhat up to date. So I remember like, all right, I got to get rid of this thing. So I end up selling my D3200 Nikon, RIP. And then I bought a Rebel T3i, I believe. I think it was a Rebel. It was a T3 or a T5. I'm pretty sure it was a T3. And once again, I had that feeling again. I was like, I'm about to change the game. I'm about to shoot all of this. Da, da, da. So then once I started shooting again, I remember shooting my first wedding on there. And for the time that this was like before gimbals were like super accessible. Like gimbals were like probably like thousands of dollars when around this time. So it was like a gimbal wasn't even in my imagination. I just did the whole neck strap with the neck strap as the anchor point for my camera, and it was crappy. But I was so proud of that. And on top of that, after it was all said and done, I got paid. So when they put the cash in my hand, I was just really looking at the cash like wow. And I still had a job at the time, like a 9 to 5 at the time. But I just really realized that, it's about how you get the money. It's not necessarily the money. Like we all want money, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's how you get the money. So I could easily make $100 at work, $150 at work, the 9 to 5. But I would notice when I would make, I don't know, $50 from a shoot that I did, that $50 just, it felt like $5,000, because it was something that was, from the creative side of your brain. And when you do stuff like that and you're blessed with money after, you start connecting those dots like, oh, okay, I can be creative and still get paid. So I just remember, like, as slowly as time went on, I was shooting here and there and there and there, friends, references, and not references, referrals, word to mouth, and everything like that. I remember creating this website. It was so garbage. And then yeah, ever since I've just I'm not, like I said, I'm not the guy who upgrades. I don't need to have the newest thing and the newest that, because I know at the end of the day it's about, the inspiration that you get and the time that you put into being creative. Like, the gear is one thing, it's the creativity and what you're doing with the gear is what really matters. To tie all that in, that's why I became a videographer. And even to stem off of that, I love, like, even, of course I love film, but what draws us into film is the storytelling. And that's what I'm a huge fan of. I feel like when it comes to storytelling, it's it's almost a duty to tell these stories around the world and these people's lives, because without somebody inspiring you, you can inspire others. I just want to say that, once again, I felt like I jumped into this space and not specifically told how I grew up or who I was and why I do what I do. And I feel like this will help a lot. So I appreciate you guys for listening and listening to me ramble and listen to my old memories and stuff. I've been posting a lot lately. I've been trying to be very consistent because I know how the algorithm works, but that only helps if you guys, hit that like button and share with the friends, and, jump in the comments. Let me know why you guys became what you became, whether it's mechanic, videographer, photographer, anything. I don't care. I love hearing people's stories. So, I appreciate you guys once again.